Siren placement can kind of be a really tricky thing to do. And how we look at the actual placement of it is you kind of have to prioritize locations. Typically, sirens have to be co-located or close to a power source. So so if you drive along, like even down on South Ohio Street or you drive down 9th Street, you don't typically see power poles sitting in the right of ways. They're usually in the alleys that connect service to houses. So that's what we're looking for. That, and then just usually we need some really good spaces too to be able to service those and access them. Obviously, if we put one on 9th Street, we'd have to shut down 9th Street if we needed to get up in a bucket truck and fix the siren head. So that doesn't make usually a whole lot of sense. Another key piece that we have to keep in mind with placement is sirens are outdoor warning devices only. So what we really look at for prioritization of those is to place them in areas where outdoor activities are most likely to occur, such as our parks, near walking trails, near a lot of different areas that we know that we are guaranteed to have some type of outdoor activities during severe weather season.
I notice around a lot of communities that sometimes they'll co-locate them with schools.
Yes. A lot of ours are too. And once again, we've got a location that is really good. It's close to a power source and it's close to some place that's going to have outdoor activities. We actually have sirens that are located in the city of Brookville, in the city of Smolin, in the city of New Cambria, the city of Assyria, and then the city of Gypsum. Now the city of Gypsum, they control their own siren. We don't have a way of setting that off. They've got their own procedures for that. However, with this new siren upgrade that the city of Salina is doing, the city of Smolin just put a brand new one in that now we'll have better access to control it. The city of Assyria had bought a new one probably about 4, maybe 5 years ago, so theirs is relatively new. And the city of Gypsum will be getting a brand new siren that will have the redundancy for us, for our office to be able to set it off, which is great. We are so excited about this. But most of the sirens were purchased through grant opportunities or purchased through those different incorporated areas back in the civil defense days. They were air raid sirens. They definitely have exceeded their life expectancy. Currently, the city of Salina, we only have 3 sirens in the city of Salina that have battery backup. So when we were looking at this new siren project, that was one of the big things that we wanted to look at is, unfortunately, in my job, we learn things from other people's mistakes. So one of the things from Joplin is that we learned that we do needed to have at least grid power, power to be able, commercial power, but then also wanted battery backup, but then also wanted a third redundancy. And all the sirens in Salina will have the solar power option as well. So regardless if electricity goes out, we can still run off the battery backup. And then let's even say it's nighttime, by the next day we will have the solar recharge.
One of the things about these older civil defense systems is that you set one of them off, you set them all off.
That is correct.
New ones are going to be individually addressable, I assume?
That is correct. It'll definitely present a couple of different challenges for us to really figure that out. But even some of those folks that might even remember last year, we did have a tornado warning in the city of Salina, but it was more directed towards the south end of the city of Salina. Well, we needed to warn those people, so we set off the sirens, and it's sunny and blue skies on the north end of Salina.
What's your plan for dealing with the other side of that when the first time you set off the sirens for part of town and somebody that's out of the area doesn't hear their siren and expected they would because there's a warning for Saline County?
Once again, we've definitely got some learning curve challenges that are going to be ahead of us, and really trying to figure out that kind of policy procedure as to how we're going to address those certain things.
Whose sirens are they going with?
The choice became between Federal Signal and then another company called Wayland. But then when we looked at all the pros and the cons and what was the best fit for the community of Salina, Federal Signal was who they chose.
Okay.
There's some other really cool options that are going to be with it too, not only just the 3 different ways of being able to set them off when we don't have power, but on the base of the siren there will also be, the base of the siren head will also be LED lights that will flash. Can't really 100% say that that's for ADA compliance by any means for folks that would be hard of hearing, but it should be just one of those other signal steps as to, well, if the light's flashing on the siren, something should tell our citizens, something that should tell them, you probably better go seek out some additional information and figure out what's going on. They're nothing, super fancy by any means, but they definitely put out a lot of sound. But the thing that we just always have to keep in mind is just the fact that they are only outdoor warning devices.
Right. What else should we cover about the sirens?
Regardless, it's always a huge education process. First and foremost, they are outdoor warning devices. So the biggest thing that we can do is to give our citizens as much information about the actual system, how it works, but then also they have to realize that it is just one single means a way of receiving information. You have to have multiple ways. Whether it be weather text messages, whether it be apps on your smartphones, whether it be the news, something. You've got to have that ability to know that you're under a threat or a danger when it comes to severe weather. And that's kind of the biggest thing. It's just always that multi-layered approach. It's not just, the sirens are not our one-all-tell-all solution to severe weather.